I have another film recommendation for you guys, and it is not going to be like other films that I have discussed before. You'll notice that I changed the playlist name to films instead of just documentaries. Something that I get asked from time to time is like, hey, I don't really consider myself a beginner witch anymore. I'm kind of at the intermediate level now, but what can I do to continue learning? Here's the tea. This will lead up to the actual film, I promise. Just hang on. Cultural anthropology, mythology, folklore, philosophy. If you are in college, university, if you can take classes on any of those subjects, regardless of your major, take it as an elective. Do it. I went to a really small school that didn't have the big variety of classes that some bigger universities might offer, but even though I was a sociology major, my cultural anthropology, specifically cultural anthropology class, was my favorite class that I ever took. If you're not in college, go to your local used bookstore and you'll be surprised at what you can find, or thrift book. I went to a used bookstore in my area and found a university level cultural anthropology textbook for $7. Watch documentaries and other films. This film is fictional and sci-fi, so what does that have to do with any of the things that I just mentioned? On the Silver Globe, scratch my anthropology brain in just the right place. A lot of you are probably thinking, I have never heard of this film. Turns out, lots of people have. That's because it was banned. Eventually, it premiered at various film festivals, but I don't think it ever had a theatrical release. It's very popular among uber film buffs, which I am not. I stumbled across clips of it doing my daily scroll and was like, this looks absolutely insane. I have to watch it. I will give you a brief synopsis with as few spoilers as possible. Basically, 3 astronauts crash land on this planet that is pretty much identical to Earth. 2 men and 1 woman. Where they land is completely empty. There seems to be no signs of human-esque life. You can see where this is going, I bet. The woman either becomes pregnant or is already pregnant when they land. It's somewhat unclear. I'm gonna guess she was already pregnant and maybe just didn't know. It was super early something. She has a son, she has a daughter, and repopulation happened. And it is intentionally disturbing. But basically, the audience watches this new society form. You watch their mythology form. You watch their religion and other customs form. Between the 3 astronauts that crash landed going insane over everything that's happened to them, and also the fact that all of these new people are the product of familial relations and therefore are a little mentally, But you watch their religion and culture and customs and rituals form. So no, it's not inherently about witchcraft, but it's certainly a commentary on religion and a bit of a criticism on the Polish communist government at the time. It was made in the 70s. I'm not educated enough to commentate on that part. And there's more to the movie than that, but I don't want to give away the whole plot. The film is in Polish, but you can find it with English subs fairly easily on the Tube and the Archive. And there's also this, which I really want to get because it comes with a documentary on the making of the movie, which I have not been able to find online. One of the most visually stunning movies I've ever seen. I'm going to show some screenshots. If you are an absolutely zero spoiler kind of person, then look away and I'll tell you when you can look back. Remember, this was filmed in the 70s, and some of these shots are insane. Truly a work of art. Okay, you can look back now. It's based on a series of books that the director's grand uncle wrote called the Lunar Trilogy, which I also really want to read. There is a little bit of gore, but it's 70s gore. I do not like gore, but I was able to handle it, so have discretion. So, is it a witchcraft movie? No. But if you're into anthropology, sociology, mythology, philosophy, speaking of philosophy, it gets a little, existential, we'll say. A little bit of nihilism. It's a very depressing movie. If you're not doing well mentally, I would not recommend it. Or is it nihilism? I've heard it pronounced a different way. and at times very confusing. So when you finish watching it, I understood most of it, but there were definitely parts that I was confused on. So I would definitely recommend reading articles about it, commentaries, watching what other people have to say about it, and it will fill in some of the gaps. The film is also not finished because the Polish government ordered that it be destroyed. Luckily, most of it was preserved, but during the parts that were destroyed, basically a narrator, who is the director, comes in and basically just tells you what was supposed to happen. Speaking of which, that director fucked up. I hope that he is in peace now. He's not here anymore. I hope he's resting peacefully because Mans did not have a good life, which you can see in his films. Anyway, if you too are looking for a film that will scratch your anthropology brain just right, or you just like weird art house European films, this is for you.